I love it. I just love that WrestleMania 40 this year is taking place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the land of the extreme, and the man who's not a wrestler, but the man who is headlining this year's WWE Hall of Fame class, is none other than Paul Heyman, the former Paul E. Dangerously. Arguably, not arguably, because I at least from the managers, at least from the performers that I've seen, Paul Heyman is the greatest manager in pro wrestling history, bar none. A lot of people might not agree with me with that. A lot of people might throw in Bobby Heenan in there. He's certainly in the running. But Paul Heyman, he just has that it factor, that entertainment factor. He's able to change with the times. He's able to change depending on who he's managing for the most part. And of course, it's Philadelphia, land of ECW, land of the extreme. The fans in that city not only love Paul Heyman, but they worship him. So it's only fitting that he goes into the Hall of Fame. And I also love the fact that WWE is able to tie this all into their current wrestling storylines as well. Because just like last year, when Rey Mysterio headlined the Hall of Fame, that class, and that involved his storyline with Dominic Mysterio, in this case, Paul Heyman, we got The Rock, we got Roman Reigns, we got the Bloodline. He's in the middle of that storyline. He's got that entire rapport with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We have to wait and see how they build up on that. We have to wait and see how Reigns and Rock respond to Paul Heyman finally being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. But here's the thing, Paul Heyman is one of the best, one of the most creative, one of the most genius minds in pro wrestling history, up there with Eric Bischoff, up there with Vince McMahon, up there with so many others, up there with Dusty Rhodes, up there with so many others. I can't tell you how much I wanted Paul Heyman to take the job with TNA Wrestling back in 2009, because I knew that if he took that job, if he took over creative for TNA Wrestling, WWE was in on its head. They were going to have to pivot their entire strategy when it comes to booking their shows to respond to TNA Wrestling. I knew that TNA Wrestling was going to grow. Paul Heyman allowed ECW to grow in the 90s, and the only reason that company died was because they did not get the right television and pay-per-view deals. They did not get the money to keep on going. Let's talk about Paul Heyman's SmackDown when he came into WWE. Had that great invasion angle. He was a great color commentator. Then he did creative for SmackDown, making it the show to watch, the most entertaining show, 02 to practically 05. Up until the start of the breakup, the start of the downfall of Evolution. If it wasn't for that, then SmackDown would have had no opposition when it was run by Paul Heyman. And of course, we got the small little smudge when it comes to WWE's ECW, but that has more a lot to do with Vince McMahon's refusal to take it seriously, refusal to give Paul Heyman full control of exactly what Paul Heyman wanted WWE's ECW to be. Paul Heyman took matters into his own hands. He left. And then he made his return. And he managed the 1 in 21 and 1. He managed the Beast, who ended the streak, the Undertaker's legendary WrestleMania streak. He did that. He managed CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless, during his then record-breaking WWE Championship reign. And now he's managing Roman Reigns in his record-breaking Universal Championship reign. He's a wise man for the bloodline. He's a wise man for Roman Reigns and for The Rock. So again, much well deserved, and so glad, so happy that this is happening right now and not later. Right now is exactly when you should do things. So with that said, Paul Heyman, I tip my hat. If I had a hat, I'd tip it for you multiple times, because you've brought us so much joy to all pro wrestling fans. So, yeah, WWE made the right call. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually headlines the class, even though he's not a wrestler, but come on, it's Paul frickin' Heyman. I don't know. It just makes total complete sense. I feel like I'm forgetting something. And I can't remember, and I'm running out of time. So with that said, I'm just gonna leave it on that rather than just, think about it. So with that said, I'll remember it some other time. With that said, what are your thoughts on Paul Heyman finally going into the Hall of Fame when it comes to WWE? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. My name is Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.